Howdy, and welcome to the Texas Bucket List, where we like featuring the finer things in life, including heading to the opera. Well, sort of. You see, down in Uvalde, there's an old opera house that was built in the 1890s, and to this day, people are bringing down the house with all sorts of sweet music.
Gonna take a sentimental journey.
In the middle of Uvalde sits a lot of history. One big building on this block has a backstory that's greater than a baritone's range.
Journey to renew old memories.
And you just never know what kind of talent you'll find in it.
Uvalde has a lot of local talent, a lot of good local talent.
Uvalde is just loaded with extraordinary musical talent.
Nancy Bennett and Tony Hull have been performing here longer than the Phantom of the Opera has been performing on Broadway.
Yeah, we go way, way back, farther than I'd like to remember right now.
Lots of fun times in this place. Lots of good memories.
These two local ladies are part of the long story of this long-standing opera house.
They're a big part of what we do. Tony is a part of nearly every show that I do. I'm constantly calling her, I mean, like, can you please come play the piano? And she never says no.
Rosie Wizenand is the opera house manager, and she runs the show here.
It sounds fancier than it is. There's a little more janitorial work involved than you'd like, but it's all good.
Rosie was born in Texas, but lived in England for 20 years, till the chance to work at her old hometown theater came open.
Thought I might stay in England for a while, but this job came up and it was kind of too good to miss. So came back and I'm really glad that I did. I love Texas.
I can't imagine not living in Texas, so.
It's different.
Yeah!
It's a different world.
You don't have an accent.
It depends on the level of tequila that has been consumed and who I'm talking to. So.
Rosie didn't offer us a drink, but did quench our thirst for knowledge about the second oldest opera house in the state of Texas.
This was built in 1891 and it was built by 6 businessmen. They were the real estate board here in Uvalde, and they decided they wanted a place of entertainment.
Graduations, balls, and vaudeville acts were the most common occurrences at the opera house until 1917, when former Vice President of the United States and Uvalde native John Nance Garner bought the building and officed out of the cupola room, even during his tenure at the nation's capital.
He had his desk in the window there because he liked to look out at his town, as he called it, because you can see the courthouse, city hall, post office, the crossroads, and the market plaza. So you could see everything from that window.
After Garner passed away in 1967, his estate took over the building until 1979.
The Garner heirs sold the building to the city for $10. So it's a city building now.
After a major push to restore the opera house, it was reopened in 1982.
A lot of the stuff was in disrepair. A lot of the theater stuff certainly was gone. So in terms of it being a functioning venue, all the original seats were gone. The building was sort of open, so people would sort of just walk through it.
I can see why they sold it for $10. It was not that good of a deal.
Yeah, they wanted to get it off their hands. But I mean, it's a really unique building, and I'm so glad they restored it. It's a huge piece of Uvalde.
The most popular part of this place sits perched on a pole. A peculiar piece of art not really pertaining to any kind of Texas history or purpose. It's simply a dragon that architect B.F. Trister might have blown some smoke to create.
B.F. Trister, when he finished designing the building, the myth is that he decided to go out and celebrate once he finished, so he had a few too many drinks and he kind of scribbled on the plans, and when he handed the plans over to the contractor, they decided that the scribbles were a dragon. He's called the Drunken Dragon because he was a drunken mistake. Never supposed to be there, but we like him, so he could stay. Keeps the ghosts away.
The original dragon rests its weary wings in the lobby after being popular for target practice over the years. But the mythical monster made of metal still likes to sit amongst the sweet serenade coming from the stage.
When you're singing or you're performing, all you can think about trying to remember the words and the notes, and it just takes you away.
They pay me more to stop singing when I start.
I just love the building and what it represents to everybody here. Everybody's got a story about it.
Gonna take a sentimental journey.
So take some time to see some local Texas talent and take in the history of the second oldest opera house in the Lone Star State. A stop that strikes the right note on the Texas bucket list.
When I'm on that stage, hopefully I'm bringing people some joy and taking them away from whatever might be an issue in their life at the time. So it's a win-win deal.
It's got a really special place here, and it's such a privilege to be able to curate it and to help it grow and hopefully do it justice.
To see some fine, fun performances. We've got the talent here to do it. You wouldn't think so. You'd think Uvalde with smaller town, but they're really surprised when they come.
If you haven't been in an opera house and you haven't been in live theater, you haven't lived.
Gonna take that sentimental journey, sentimental journey.